wadaatoti wanti nuyi hojjechaa jiru yookaan immoo waggaa 20 darban kana wanti hojjechaa ture namoonni sitti dabalamanii jechuudha qofaa koos miti ijoollee biyyaa ijoollee durbaa abbaa faana kan hin qabne yookiin situu qabanii baay'ee harka qalleettii kan ta'anii mana barumsaa kutaa ja'affaatii jalqabanii amma kutaa 12 raawwatanitti nama isaan gargaarutti goonee fi barumsa isaaniitti akka jajjabaatanii jireenya isaaniittis akka jajjabaatanii iddoo tokkotti ijoollee 20 qabna iddoo 9 jirra ijoolleen kun obbolaa akka walii ta'anii akka wal jajjabeessanii kanarratti hojjechaa ture waan baay'ee of keessaa qaba garuu.
Mee suuraalee hedduu argina iddoo kanatti kutaalee Oromiyaa bal'oos bal'inaan agarra. Mee iddoo 9 akka ta'edha kan isin kaastan. Ijoolleen kun iddoo sana ni jiraatu moo barnootumaadha waggaatti bittuuf immoo tajaajila akkam akkamiidha kan isin kennitaniif ijoollee kanaaf?
Ijoolleen kun naannoodhuma Oromiyaa keessa iddoo 5 jirra. Ijoolleen maqaa isaanii dha'ee Beegii, Lejjoo, Boojii, Ayira Gullisoo, Naqamte. Ijoolleen kun wanti nuyi goonu mana isaanii akka isaan jiraatan abbaa faadha hin qaban yoo ta'e firoota isaanii bira akka jiraatan sababni isaa lafa jiranitti rakkina jiru hundumaa danda'anii akka keessaa ta'anii ba'anii fi irratti hojjechaa turre ijoolleen kunis immoo isa kana nutti agarsiisaniiru.
Mee dhaabbanni kun waggoota 20 tajaajila kennaadha kan jiru namoonni baay'een biyya bakkee kana keessa jirre isin immoo dhaabbata waggaa 20 tajaajila jechuun dhaloota hedduudha kan gargaartanii hagammaatti lakkoofsaan namoota meeqa akka gargaartan daataa keessaniirraan qabdu laata?
Qabne.
Namoota meeqa tajaajiltanii?
Ijoollee gara 600 gararraadha. Ijoolleen kuni waggaa 7 nu bira turti argite. Waggaa 6 nu bira turti. Kanaaf lakkoofsi isaanii xinnoo fakkaachuu danda'a. Maatiiwwan 3,000 ijoollee 600 ol kan amma baay'ee isaanii universities, colleges raawwatanii ofii isaanii yoo gargaaranii saba isaaniis kan gargaaraa jiran ta'anii.
Tole ijoolleen isin bira turanii gariin baratanii medical doctorii kan ta'anillee fuula feesbuukii keessanii fi weebsaayitii keessanii irratti argeen ture. Mee namni biyya bakkee jiru saba keessaa dhufe akka gargaaruudhaaf maal dhaamu adde Tsahaay?
Namni keenya gargaarsa kana gochaa jira. Bifa garaagaraan ta'e malee kanaaf arjoomne kan hin caalaatti namatti dubbachuu barbaadu wal jajjabeessuu maaliif nama tokko keessa yoo abjuun kaa'ame namni yoo bira dhaabbate namni wajjiniin yoo ta'e geggeessuu danda'a waan hundumaa waan baay'ees hojjechuu danda'a. So walii utubu walii wajjiniin dhaabbachuu isa hojjechaa jiru harka qabu akkasitti ituu deemneeti baay'ee gaarii natti fakkaata.
Tole gaaffii koo xumuraa kan ta'u maqaan dhaabbata keessanii REAL kan jedhudha. Akka Afrikaatti namoota dhaqqabuudha. Amma isin Itoophiyaan alatti biyyi isin dalagdan jira?
Yaadaa jirra malee bakka deemne hin qabnu moodelii qopheessine moodeliin kuni biyya garaagaraa keessatti hojjechuu hin danda'a jennee irratti hojjenneerra kan nuyi yaada qabnu gara Laayibeeriyaa fa'aa gara Keeniyaa fa'aa Saraaliyoon sababni isaa jiru namoonni nu wajjin dhaabbatan isa sana keessa waanta ta'eef.
ስለ ሪል የማውቀው በአጋጣሚ የ18ኛውን ዓመት ክብረ በዓል በኢትዮጵያ አዲስ አበባ ውስጥ ባከበረ ጊዜ ኪኖት ስፒከር ሆኜ ተጋብዤ ነበረ። በእውነቱ እነዚህ አይነት ድርጅት ለትልቅ ዓላማ የተነሳ ሴቶችን ማዕከል አድርጎ በተለይም ወጣት ሴቶችን እና በትምህርታቸው ደግሞ የላቀ አፈጻጸም ያላቸው ነገር ግን በተለያየ ችግር ምክንያት ምናልባት ትምህርታቸውን እንዲያቋርጡ ለሌላ ችግር እንዲጋለጡ ይችሉ የነበሩ ሴቶችን መስፈርት አውጥቶ መልምሎ የተለያየ እርዳታዎችን እያደረገ ያለ ድርጅት የገንዘብ እርዳታ ብቻ ሳይሆን ልጆችን ሜንተር አዘጋጅቶ እየተከታተለ እያበቃ ያለ በተመሳሳይ ቤተሰቦቻቸውንም እንደዚሁ የሚከታተል ልጆች ከትምህርት እንዳይስተጓጎሉ ወደፊት ትልቅ ራዕይ ዓላማ ይዘው ትልቅ ስንቅ ሰንቀው ብቁ ዜጋ ሆነው ኮንፊደንት ሆኖ ዜጋ ሆነው እንዲጓዙ እያደረገ ያለ ድርጅት ነው። ልጆቹን 18ኛው ክብረ በዓል በተከበረ ጊዜ አዲስ አበባ ላይ ፐርፎርም ሲያደርጉ ስቴጅ ላይ አይቻቸዋለሁ። በጣም የሚገርም ልዩ ብቃት ያላቸው ኮንፊደንስ ይዘው እያደጉ ያለ የተሻለ የትምህርት አፈጻጸም ያላቸው ነገ ኢትዮጵያን ከፍ ማድረግ የሚችሉ በተመሳሳይ ደግሞ ችግር ውስጥ እያለፉ ያሉ ሴቶቻችንን ማንሳት የሚችለው ራዕይ ሰንቆ ያለውን ተግባር መቀጠል የሚችሉ ልጆች በመሆናቸው ይህን ድርጅት መስርታ እየታገለች ያለችው አደ ፀሐይ ወዳጆን በጣም ማመስገን ማክበር እፈልጋለሁ። ትልቅ ዓላማ ነው ያለው። ሴቶችን መርዳት፣ መልካምን ነገር ማድረግ ሁኔታና ቦታ አይወስንም። ትልቁ የልብ መከፈት የልብ መሰጠት ነውና ኢትዮጵያውያን ደግሞ ሀገራችን ውስጥም ሆነ ውጭም ሀገር በተለያየ ምክንያት ብንመጣም በስራ ላይ ያለን ቢሆንም ዞሮ ዞሮ ሀገራችንን መርሳት የለብንምና ትልቅ አርአያ ያላት ሴት ሆና ነው ያገኘሁት። በጣም ነው ማመሰግናት። ሌሎች ኢትዮጵያውያንም በዚህ አግባብ ሊነሳሱ ይገባል ብዬ ነው።
ሚኒሶታ እንዴት አየሽው?
ሚኒሶታ ነው ያለሁት። ስለዚህ ክብረ በዓል ተጋብዤ ነው የመጣሁት። ሚኒሶታ እስካሁን ባለኝ እይታ በጣም ቆንጆ ሀገር ሆና አግኝቻታለሁ። በጣም ብዙ የተለያዩ ኢትዮጵያውያን እህቶቼን ወንድሞቼን አግኝቻለሁ። ጥሩ ነገር አለ፣ ኮኦፕሬሽን አለ። ነገር ግን ጥሪ ያቀርባለሁ እዚህ ያላችሁ ኢትዮጵያውያን የወይዘሮ ፀሐይ ወዳጆን ሞዴል ወስዳችሁ ሀገራችንን ባለንበት መርሳት የለብንም። በተለይ ከሴቶች አኳያ እኔም ለሴት መብት በጣም ቀናኢ ነኝ። ሴቶች ከፍ እንድንልቅ የተለያየ እርዳታ የሰብአዊነት የተሞላው እርዳታ ማድረግ መቻል አለብን። አንድ ሰው ምንም ለውጥ ሊያመጣ አይችልም። መተባበር አለብን፣ መተጋገዝ አለብንና ከፍ ማለት
Amasagana.
Inspired by the transformation that REAL, this organization, has created. And for those of you who don't know, REAL supports girls from K5 to K12, and we help them stay in school. We provide them support for themselves and their families through mentorship, and has created such a powerful women that you will actually be able to hear tonight. So that's the first thing. Second thing is about connecting. We're here for you to also network, talk to each other. This is a room that is here to empower women. And we have with us so many organizations here tonight that have sponsored this event, but also are here, and you will hear some of them speak. So we have CARE, we have Global Rights for Women, we have the Power People Leadership Institute, Books for Africa, HRC, and Governance Associates. Those are people here that also want to support the empowerment of women, the education of women. So you will hear that tonight. Let's continue to build this village to make a transformation that we all want in Ethiopia. And finally, we're here to create the future. We have supported over 500 girls in Ethiopia over the years, but we want to do more. We want to open more sites. We want to, support 10,000 girls. And for that, obviously, we need money and we need funds. So tonight, our goal is to raise $10,000 so that we can continue to expand the organization. So that's why we're here tonight. Make sure you celebrate, make sure you connect, and make sure that together we can create the future. Now, the next person I want to invite on stage is Sahar Wadajo. She's the co-founder and the executive director of the organization. She's such an inspiration. She obviously has been such an inspiration for us and as well all the girls. So I'm just going to ask Sahai to come on stage and obviously share with you as well some words about the organization.
So I see that everybody's excited to hear what I had to say. So thank you. I have few things to share. So I actually prefer to speak from my heart. Sometimes I miss my lines. And so at the recommendation of my daughter, who is here, I'm just gonna read from what I wrote. And so what I'm gonna talk about is the power of connection and commitment is my focus as I share the success of REAL in educating and empowering disadvantaged Ethiopian girls. From birth to this moment, we all have a story to tell, don't we? At times, we use our stories to inspire others. In this story, I will share brief information on how REAL came to be and our journey and success. I choose to connect the dots, to acknowledge the people who made a difference for me so that I can do my part to uplift those who need to be uplifted. And this person might be surprised when I name her, Dure Nagasa. Would you please stand up? It is a miracle that she's here. I didn't expect, but this is a moment, and I wanted to use the opportunity. It is because of you, Dure, and your sister, Dangule, I don't forget. And I came to the US in 1990 to be treated, and eventually became free from pituitary tumor. So thank you. Your contribution is not only for me, but look around. those girls behind you. Those girls are our first girls in our program. If we had to say a few things about those girls, it's amazing. All of them became successful. Successful in that they got their voice. They can speak up for themselves. And they don't even need someone to speak up for themselves. That is the success in our story. The African village proverb, it takes a village to raise a child, applies to adults and not only children. And there are lots of people who contributed to my life. This is not a platform for me to tell my story, but rather to tell the girls' stories. It is because of them that we are here today. However, when telling the stories about Real and the girls, there are a couple of friends I want to acknowledge. Hannah, for being my partner in initiating Real. We struggled a little bit. Would you stand up? Our community is charged with so much, so it was really very hard for us to focus where to start. And so we gave a name, Resources Enriching African Lives. We wanted to reach out to immigrant communities and to empower them, and also to bring our community together. And then we went our ways. And then I continued dreaming, because this wonderful young lady who is now in her 70s from Sweden came to my village and put me through high school, and her name is Eva. So I continued looking at the resources, the opportunities here for women, for girls. Of course, there are challenges, but what can we do, back home to make a difference? That is when I kind of started to dream about Real. So in that, Ann Jensen, where are you? She jumped in, committed, dedicated for us to work on this program for girls. And I am forever grateful to you. Thank you very much. And as Nelson Mandela stated, education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor. We did see that in our girls. That the son of a mine worker can become the head of a mine. That a child of farm worker can become president of a great nation. He also said, education is the most powerful weapon that we can use to change the world. It is this weapon and a village that we gave Real girls, a weapon that no one can take away from them. Yes, so that is what we gave them, and that is what we continue to give, and that is why we are appealing to you to stand with us. We have chosen and proven to solve the most challenging problem for disadvantaged Ethiopian girls. What I witnessed and experienced growing up still impacts girls from accessing education, like menstrual health, early marriage, and labor migration are the greatest barriers girls face in accessing education. In addition, you have to pay attention to this one. In addition, long-held cultural attitudes are challenging problems that keep girls and women accepting the status quo as if this is the way it is, when it's not. From my reading and experience, it's very hard to change long-held attitudes and behaviors. We put an effective model to combat these issues, and the girls are challenging and changing this long-held attitude while excelling in their education and becoming doctors, engineers, managers, nurses, teachers, to name a few of their career field. Here are the questions we consider. Is she committed and ready to face the challenges head on? Is she orphan, losing one or both parents? Is her family contemplating marrying her off at a young age to lessen the burden of taking care of a large family? Are there partners we can count on to work with us? And I'm so pleased that there are two partners here. They came for, they came invited for different things, but here they are. To me, it's a miracle. So would you please stand up? These are the kind of partners we have. And I will share a few words. I thought my speech is going to be 4 minutes, but it's actually more. Okay. Are they coachable and work with their mentors? Are they committed to each other? Be each other's committed listeners. These are the variables we used for the last 20 years, and it worked. Our statistics show our girls complete university, you've got to listen to this, at 82%, whereas nationwide it's only 11%. We also started to track a national exam at 6th, 8th, and 12th grade. The government started tracking in 2022. The government was, in 2022, 12th graders passed their national exam at 3.3, and ours was 44%. In 2023, the government was only 3, and we were at 35%. This year, the government is at 5.5, while we are at 31%, who scored the highest to enter university, and 20% of those remedial level. So we are at 51%. We put support system in for girls who scored less. Actually, even if they scored less, if they drop out from our program, we bring them back. We don't leave them leaving us, because we have a mentorship, we have sisterhood, so we continue to support them. And it would have been a time for me to share or bring on the story of one of our girls. But since we have a distinguished guest here today, actually we will give an opportunity for that distinguished guest. However, someone who thread this and connect everything together, the pieces together, is my best friend, Dr. Verna Price. And I've known her over 30-something years. So we are so privileged to have you. So I think this is a time that I will bring you here. And I think that I don't know what we will do about the food, but just come on. Thank you very much.
For the sake of time, I'm just going to tell you that she is a rock star in the world of women's rights and girls' rights. And I just want to thank you for being here tonight, and come on up and share with us. Give her a hand.
so much for that lovely introduction. And I am just going to tell you how really honored I am to be here tonight to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Resources Enriching African Lives. The mission of REAL could not be more important: to ensure that girls have access to education. I know how important this is because the organization I lead here in Minnesota, Global Rights for Women, also promotes the human rights of women and girls. Our focus is legal reform to prevent violence. And we're celebrating our 10th anniversary this year, 20 years to come. In my career, I have traveled at the invitation of local partners to over 60 countries to carry out legal reform initiatives, including Ethiopia. Thank you. Because of our common goals at Global Rights for Women and REAL, I came to know this wonderful visionary, Sihai Wodajo. You have heard some of the stories from the girls that her organization sponsors, and what an incredible impact REAL makes. Can you hear me okay? From Binan to I was just looking at the posters in the back, just this incredible presence in the country of Ethiopia, and now this announcement. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful thing that will be to take this mission way beyond 30,000 girls. That is just an amazing announcement tonight. So huge congratulations to you, Sihai. And I have seen that without education, girls cannot thrive. They cannot be safe and equal. Rather, they will be dependent and subjugated, putting them at the risk of child marriage, rape, and locking them into lives that will be defined by discrimination and hardship. And so importantly, they will not have opportunities to be the leaders we so need them to be in today's deeply troubled world. We need our girls to be educated and prepared for leadership. Kofi Annan, former Secretary General of the United Nations, said recently, study after study globally has taught us that there is no tool for development more effective than the education of girls and the empowerment of women. When women are fully involved and equally treated, the benefits can be seen immediately. Families, communities, and whole countries are healthier. That's what the research shows. Access to good education is also strongly associated with higher levels of peacefulness. Think about that. Higher levels of peacefulness. This includes reduction of internal conflicts, interpersonal violence, and an overall increase in political stability. We know these things. This is what the research has shown us over these last 20 to 30 years that finally organizations have been doing research into the power of women and girls. We know this. We have evidence of it. But here are still some statistical realities. Last month, a global report came out measuring countries' progress on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. More than 850 million women and girls are living in countries rated as very poor for gender equality, subjecting those women and girls to a litany of potential restrictions, abuses, including forced pregnancies, childhood marriages, and bans from secondary education. Each year, hear this statistic, each year globally, 15 million girls are married before the age of 18, these marriages often taking them out of school. In central Uganda alone, for example, nearly 50% of girls drop out of school by the age of 15. These are statistics that Sihai knows. One of the reasons it's so meaningful for me to be here this evening is that I believe the mission of my organization, Global Rights for Women, and REAL are inextricably connected. Our mission at Global Rights for Women is to end violence against women and girls through systemic and legal reform. It simply means that we want to do all that we can to make sure that there are strong laws promoting equality and safety existing in every country, and that our government institutions understand the importance of those laws and do the work to enforce them. Effectively prioritizing the safety of women and girls and making sure that violent offenders are held accountable for their crimes. If they are not, this violence won't stop. Impunity globally for violence against women and girls is the norm. It's not the exception. I have seen, and I want to say that that's the way that we counter that message that Sihai talked about earlier in the program. We counter that message that this is just the way it is. This is just the way it has to be, that women are subjugated and victims of violence continually in multiple severes. It doesn't have to be that way. And we can counter that message with our community statements of what we believe in, what we will tolerate, what we won't tolerate. I have seen that in too many countries, it's too dangerous for women to even physically get to school. They risk being raped as they walk there. They risk being abused when they get there. And how can girls possibly focus and perform well in school when they're in constant fear for their safety of being hurt, raped, abused, whether the forum, the context is home, school, the street, work? The human rights of girls cannot be ensured. The whole spectrum of the human rights of girls cannot be ensured without access to education, access to safety, to freedom from violence, and access to justice if that violence occurs. These human rights to education and freedom from violence are inseparable, interdependent human rights of girls. We can do this. I believe, and I'm going to close here now, I believe that the real beauty of REAL's mission is the hope that is embedded in it. We know, as we've heard here tonight, and as the research and the statistics show, that when we educate girls, all of us benefit. I want to thank you, Resources for Enriching African Lives. Thank you for the work that you do. It is transformative. And congratulations on your 20th anniversary. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Cheryl. I'm going to take this opportunity to welcome to the stage Reverend Melkamu, and then also Reverend Soboka. And as they come, are they here? Come. As they come, here's why they are so important to this work. At their respective sites in Ethiopia, they, good, thank you. Go ahead and have a seat, that would be great. They not only, they chair the committees that selects the sites where the girls meet. Secondly, they provide the space for the REAL office for the mentor who's working with the girls and where the girls meet. And third, they facilitate all the communication between REAL in Ethiopia and REAL here in Minnesota, so that they are keeping this all connected and keeping that program going. So incredibly important to have their partnership and to have them standing in the gap to make this happen. Let's welcome them.
I'm the president of one synod in Ethiopian Lutheran Church. We have about 40 synod or dioceses in Ethiopia, in Evangelical Lutheran Church or Ethiopia or Mechanisms, and then I'm one of the synod leader for these last 7 years. And I had been working with REAL projects for about 18 years. From the founding of this project, I was there because at that time I'm working in the synod, and then we have one side in our synod, we call it the Good Society. We are very happy, and we are also benefited from this project. Really, it is not easy because, as we know, most of the girls in our country, they don't have chance to get education, especially in the rural area. I'm living from the countryside, 525 kilometers from the capital city, at this to the west. Then the REAL project came to us this all distance, and we are benefited from this project. Thank you so much, the supporter and the board and the director. I have a thankful and appreciate these all sponsors and all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I am Reverend Sopoka from Ethiopian Evangelical Church, Mechanisms. I am working at one of the congregation in Addis Ababa. I know Sai from early childhood, and also I know REAL from the very beginning when REAL started this project with our congregation. So the children, the family, the community, the church, we are highly benefited. So I would like to appreciate Sai and the board who was really dedicated what they have for this holistic ministry. So it is very encouraging, and also the life of the family, the children, the community is changed. So it is wonderful. Thank you.
እንዴት አመሻችሁ ውድ የኢትዮጵያ ልጆች። ከመይም ሲሆን ደቅ ኢትዮጵያ ደቅ ኤርትራ and good evening people of Minnesota. It's a great pleasure for me to attend this historic and special event, which is celebrated to support girls' education in Ethiopia. This is Lady Justice Assefa from Federal Supreme Court Ethiopia, standing before you with high confidence. Let me take you 30 years back, where me and my families, due to displacement, lose hope, face troubles to access to food, shelter, paying for tuitions, and increased vulnerability to exploitations. As a young girl, I paid a lot to pass those challenging moments of our life. I expired 5 years of my life in the ups and downs. My single mother and my siblings also paid a lot. Despite my challenging life, I am what I am today. Thanks to those who make significant efforts and contributions to make me strong and capable. The global reality shows that girls face early marriage, are more likely to be out of school, to die from malnutrition, to be subjected to sexual violence, and to get coerced into trafficking. To educate a girl is to build a healthier family, a stronger community, and a brighter future. Unfortunately, today, according to UNICEF estimates, more than 122 million girls around the world are out of school. A girl who could change her world for better is locked out of her future by the circumstances of her birth, poverty, and religious and cultural norms of her community. Let me tell you about my reading, which is posted in one social media and touches my heart much. It says, I was in class 7 and she was in class 7. I was in class 10 and she was in class 10. I was in college and she got married. I was preparing for university and she was preparing for first child. I completed PhD. Her daughter completed primary school. I completed postdoctorate. Her daughter in class 10. I have joined job. Her daughter has joined college. And the greatest irony, today is my engagement and her daughter is my fiancé. This is alarming. Think about our ironies who are locked off their future in similar situations. Investing in girls' education is investing in society. It transforms communities, countries, and the entire world. Girls who receive education are less likely to marry early and more likely to lead healthy and productive lives. Today, REAL provides its service in 9 sites across the country for more than 600 young, bravery, bright mind, ethical, and disciplined girls in more than 40 different fields of studies. The visionary women, Adda, supporters of REAL and sponsors of the beneficiaries, I congratulate you for your achievements on behalf of beneficiaries and all staffs of REAL. May God Almighty bless you all. Everyone in this room, I am standing before you with my feelings of 30 years before, where there was no hope and life was challenging for me, my siblings, and my single mother who paid a lot to raise us. Giving and loving others is belonging to something greater. As Mother Teresa says, the most terrible poverty is loneliness and the feelings of being unloved. It's not how much we give, but how much love we put it into giving. A life is not lived for others is not a life. Now, I call upon you to belong for something greater. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let's stretch our hands to the needy. Let's support girls' education. Let's make a difference. Let's make girls our future members of Congress, judges, executives, presidents, captains, navies, doctors, engineers, military officers, scientists, teachers, philosophers, professors. Let's make girls capable in every profession. Let's make generation continue by supporting girls' education. May God Almighty bless you all. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Now it's time for me to give a special presentation to Adda Wadajo on behalf of beneficiaries of REAL. Adda Wadajo, please come to the front. This is the camera. This is the special gift beneficiaries of REAL send me to give to Adda Wadajo. I don't know what it is. She will tell about the presentation.
I know we are running out of time. I'm also surprised. Let's open this and see what it is.
Yes.
They always surprise me.
What is this? Oh my God. See this? It's the menstrual kit.
They made it, their service explained it well.
What is it? A menstrual pad. And I know what this means. What this means is we are now confident with the support that we are getting, we are actually buying this so that we don't quit school. We don't skip school. We don't skip school. And I know there are factories who made this, and you know, there are a lot of support, but this is a big deal, a big deal. Because I had it in my speech and I didn't even know. I didn't know that they would send us this as. This is great.
Yes. Oh.
Wow, wow.
Amazing. Thank you. That means that girls get to keep coming to school. Even when their cycle comes on, they get to keep coming to school. And the fact that we have our judge on our side in Ethiopia means that we can do more and we can do more faster. So let's give her Her Excellency, another round of applause. Are you still writing those checks? Look at your neighbor and say to your neighbor, neighbor, where's the check? Where's the check? Write the check. Where's the cash? Gotta give. Absolutely. And by the way, just let me just tell you, as our Oromo International Association cultural dance team prepares to come, that when you give, it's a blessing not only to those you're giving to, it's also a blessing to your life. So I appreciate that. Let's welcome the Oromo International Cultural Dance, and then after that, we are going to be doing heads and tails and going home. Welcome.
ነበር አባቴ በልጅነቴ ስለሞተ እናታችን 10 ልጆች ነበር ይዛ ያሳደገችንና ለኔ ሪል ፖይንቴ ነው ማለት በጣም ብዙ ነገር ያየሁበት የተማርኩበት በብዙ ፍቅር ከልጆቹ ጋር ያሳለፍ ፖይንቴ ነበርና እነዛ ነበር ሪል ውስጥ ተቀላቀለ ስለዚህ ፈሪ ነበርኩኝና ምንም ነገር ለመናገር ሪሊን ካገኘው በኋላ ግን ደብተሬን ቅባቴን ኢቭን በጣም ማስታውሰው እናቴንና ጎረቤቶቼን ረዳ ነበር ራሴን ችዬ ነበር ስኖር የነበርኩኝ ከ10ኛ እስከ 12ኛ ነበረ ሪልን ጆይን ያደረኩት ለኔ ሪል ብዙ ነገር ነው ከዛ በኋላ ሪል ኮኦርዲኔተር ሆኜ ስሰራ ነበረ በጣም ለ4 አመት እንደዛ ለ4 አመት 8 ወር እና ጥሩ ጊዜ ነበር ከሪል ጋር
Let's give Kana a hand. Wow. Even with technology, you know, that happens, but you heard enough of her story to know the impact that this organization has had on her life. Imagine, had she never met Say Hi. Imagine that it's called trajectory of her life. Literally, it's like a rocket taking off. And when she met you, what you did was you gave her what she needed to just take off in life and make sure that she persisted in education. So I'm so thankful for that. So thankful for that. So we are going to do, Lyle, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to throw down? Yes, you are. Okay, come on up here. Come on up here. Let us give Lyle, the husband of Say Hi, who is just an amazing man and a wonderful leader. I've got a wonderful husband too. There's no way I could do this work without him. For the Shane Price. Let's give Lyle a hand as he comes. Now Lyle, don't be nice to them. You hear what I'm saying? Don't be nice to them, okay? Don't let them off. They got money. They go to the Mall of America. I know. Okay. Come on up. All right. Here you go. Here's the mic.
Thank you, Dr. Berta.
You got your items. Press them. If you need any backup, you call me.
Will do.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. I know there's a lot of other things you could have been doing tonight, but instead you're here. So from all of us at REAL, thank you very much for your time and attention. We're going to have a real auctioneer here, but COVID happened and he couldn't make it, and I don't know why, but when Sahak was telling me, I said, oh, I could do that, I think. So, you're stuck with me. I'm going to do the best I can. Now, I had a grandfather that lived down in Missouri, and when I was a little guy, he took me to the auction barn, which was really an adventure. And I'm watching these big cows that come through cattle, and so, I can't do that, so I won't do that. So instead, we'll just go through and take the bids. Okay. And Anya here is going to help, and she's going to introduce us to whatever auction.
Okay, so we have Yang's Foods Kimchi, 12 jars delivered to your home. It's perfect now for cold weather coming. So, and the starting is $100.
200. We have an opening bid of 200 at the Adda restaurant. 250 from Olga for dinner for 6 at the Adda restaurant. Did you say 250? 250. Got it. Where is it located?
It is in Columbia Heights.
250. No, I'm just not going to bid. Okay, just checking. 250 going once for this great restaurant. 250 going twice. So, Olga, thank you, Olga. Oh, by the way, can someone write this down? Because I can barely remember it once I finish it. I hope someone's capturing all these kids.
Yep. Okay, the next one is Mimi's cooking class for 6. It's an Ethiopian cooking class by an Ethiopian chef, and the starting bid is 300.
Wow, 300. Cooking class for 6. Mimi, 300. Opening bid. Learn how to make this wonderful cuisine.
duraan dursee dhaabbata Oromoo Diaspora Miidiyaa guddaa galateeffachuun barbaada waa'ee dhaabbata keenyaa gabaabamatti akka ibsuu fi carraan agannu isaatii fi dhaabbati Sub-Saharan African Family Service Minisootaa waggoota 20 darbanii fi Minisootaa keessatti African Immigrant gidduutti tajaajila garaagaraa kennaa ture. Achi keessaa Ryan White inni jedhamu tokko yommuu ta'u innis komponentii 5 of keessaa qaba. Tokkoffaa medical, lamaffaa non-medical, sadaffaa transportation, arfaffaa psychosocial, shanaffaa mental health kan jedhamu irratti tajaajila garaagaraa kennaa jira. Lammaffaa HDI yookaan immoo almadaalii fayyaa kan jedhamu yommuu ta'u innis immoo HIV irratti xiyyeeffachuudhaan hawaasa gidduutti hubannoo uumuudhaaf miidiyaalee fi qaama hawaasaa garaagaraa wajjin hojii gurguddaa hojjechaa jira. Sadaffaa qorannoo HIV/AIDS geggeessuu. Arfaffaa inni irratti hojjedhu dhaabbata piroojeektii ani irratti hojjedhu commercial tobacco equity project kan jedhamu rakkoo timboo daldalaa aarsuu yookiin xuuxuudhaan dhufu xiqqeessuu irratti piroojeektii hojjetudha. Fakkeenyaaf hubannoo hawaasa keessatti uumuu akkasumas immoo miidiyaalee garaagaraatiin waa'ee timboo daldalaa kanaa sirriitti uummata biraan miidhaasaa uummata biraan ga'u. Miidhaa timboo daldalaa aarsuudhaan dhufu fakkeenyaaf fudhannee yoo ilaalle Ameerikaa keessatti qofa 800 waggaadhaan lubbuun isaanii timboo aarsuudhaan rakkoo wal qabatu lubbuun isaanii akka darbu ragaaleen garaagaraa argisiisu. Minisootaa qofa fudhannee yoo ilaalle immoo namoota 6,500 timboo aarsuudhaan wal qabatee rakkoo dhufuun lubbuun isaanii akka darbu ragaaleen garaagaraa argisiisu. Timboo daldalaa aarsuun rakkoo garaagaraaf nama saaxiluu danda'a. Fakkeenyaaf rakkoo onneef, rakkoo sombaaf, rakkoo ijaa kan kana fakkaataniif waan nama saaxiluuf isa kana xiqqeessuudhaaf hojii garaa garaa hojjechaa jira. Fakkeenyaaf yoo barbaadan yoo timboo xuuxuu yookiin immoo aarsuu dhiisuu barbaadan cessation program yookaan gorsa osoo balaannuuf teessoon keenya tajaajila kana argachuudhaaf teessoon keenya 2395 University Avenue kutaa 200 keessatti nu argattu. Lakkoofsi bilbila keenya 651-466-3983 jettanii yoo nu bilbiltanii nu argachuu dandeessu. Fayyaa ta'aa, galatooma.